Okay? There's a view of stomach. Identify the membrane filling the field of view. The membrane is a mucous membrane. Okay? From this left surface at the tail of the arrow here, all the way to here is the mucous membrane. I'm on medium power. Okay? Right at the tip of the pointer is the muscularis mucosa, telling us that's the edge of the mucous membrane. And all of this, from where the head of the arrow is here to where the tail of the arrow is here, are these rows and rows of stomach glands. These are the gastric glands. But beyond the tail, going back the other way up here, where the tail of the arrow is now, those are gastric pits. Little openings that go down into the gastric mucosa. And they're lined with what kind of cell? Simple columnar epithelial cells, basically goblet cells. See those globs of mucus in there? Basically mucus-producing cells. Why would we have all these goblet cells, mucus-producing cells in the stomach? Protect against acid. Part of the protection against acid. We move on down deeper, okay, and we start seeing different kinds of cells as we move down. We get deep, okay. I have the pointer in the lumen of a gastric gland, and these sort of dark cells with a lighter apical cytoplasm lining the gland are which cells? These are the chief cells. Chief. And the chief cells produce what? Pepsinogen. They produce that precursor to the enzyme pepsin. It is not yet a digestive enzyme. It needs to be activated. As it travels up this tubular gland, it starts running into and passing by these red cells. And these larger oval triangular red cells are what cells? The parietal cells. And what do parietal cells produce? HCl and intrinsic factor. Good, Chris. Intrinsic factor. Okay. What's intrinsic factor for? It's for meat eaters to absorb their vitamin B12. Okay. Total vegans, I don't know, what do you get? Vitamin shots or something? Just picking on you. So they produce these parietal cells produce the hydrochloric acid that converts the pepsinogen into pepsin, right? Does that conversion. Okay? Now, if in here is where the lumen is, okay, I'm pointing here where the lumen is, what is this layer outside the gland right there? Good, that is the lamina propria. So the lamina propria is in these little bands that surround the glands in this stomach. Now, I've got to go clear back to low power and look, see, here's a fold of mucosa. What is this fold of mucosa called? It is called a ruga. One ruga, a whole stomach full of rugae. Okay? And we follow back this ruga, we see here's the submucosa, and then the muscularis. Right here on the surface is, of course, a membrane. Give me the most specific name you can for this membrane. It is the well, I've heard blah, 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 fumbling around. It's the what? Visceral peritoneum. What kind of membrane is it? It's a serosa. The surface epithelium of this membrane by location is what, Barb? Mesothelium. There, you got it in. Okay. You're going to get that in sooner or later. Okay. Okay. The next slide in the box, I'm not even going to deal with. It's the pyloric stomach. I'm just going to put it back in the box. I'm not going to use the pyloric stomach. All it has is like mucus glands, and it's difficult to identify for sure, at our level, that it is pyloric stomach. Okay? So now we'll check out this slide, and right there is many clues to identify what's in the field of view. You can name 2 organs and a location and a position and all kinds of stuff from that slide. Name 2 organs in the field of view. Duodenum and pancreas. Okay? Identify the structures around the head of the arrow. Brunner's glands. What do they produce?